All right, for moving on. And again, nurse.org always with these fantastic blog posts, and I love them for it. And I'm here to, and I love shining some more light on these blog posts that are getting a little bit of attention, right? So, 4 reasons why nurses need mental health days. And I talk about this all the time. When I don't want to brag, but I was once the Healthy Nurse, Healthy Nation Person of the Month, right? And it was super exciting. And my portion of it was the mental health side of it. And they called me the Healthy Nurse, Healthy Nation Person of the Month because I do these videos, because this is my outlet. This is how I vent and scream. This is how I release my stress when I'm not in the hospital. And it's so important for us nurses to have that, to have a way to release the stress, because I know that I'm in a super lucky position where I'm young and I'm single and I'm a new nurse and I have the time to do this. I don't have kids. I don't have other responsibilities outside of work, right? So I feel like I'm a super lucky position, and not everyone has that. So that's why I've decided that it's important that the world knows that nurses need their days off. Nurses need a mental day off. And when I say a day off from work, I don't mean you schedule a day off and you have to go and do your errands and take care of the kids. No, I mean an actual day off. And that's the reason I am doing this story. So according to the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation Interdisciplinary Nursing Quality Research Initiative, INQRI, nurses experience clinical depression at twice the rate the general public do. Depression affects 9% of everyday citizens, but 18% of nurses experience symptoms of depression, which is insanity. That's nearly 20%. So if you work on a unit with 5 nurses, you know that 1 of the 5 of you have symptoms of depression, which is insane to think about, right? Because these are the nurses that are taking care of the patients. These are the nurses that are taking care of the public, you, me, and everybody else. And I only say that because if someone, a depressed nurse, may find it more difficult to concentrate, communicate, manage time, and critically think, all of these factors are determinants to mental health. They can cause a delay in patient care, medication errors, lapses in nursing judgment, and so on and so forth. So we all know this, right? When you're at work, and the thing is, being a nurse, when you are at work, you do feel this constant stress, this constant pressure, this constant level of anxiety. Yes, it's the name of the game, but we need to do things in our power to take care of ourselves. So when we do go to work, right, because we know when you go to work, you're taking care of sick patients. It's not going to be lollygagging, jump rope, and high-fiving, right? It's a stressful situation. Hospitals aren't just a fun and games. It's serious, it's stressful, and that's the name of the game. So we knew that going in. But there are things that us nurses can do to take care of ourselves a little bit better, so our mental health is at peak condition. So when we do go into work, we can be that positive light for our patients. We can give 100% to our patients instead of giving only half, because the other 50% of us is stressed and concerned and filled with anxiety. Okay, so the 4 reasons I want to go down there. So let's talk about these 4 reasons as to why it is important why is it important that you take a mental health day, a break from work, a break from your stresses of life. 4 major reasons. So number 1, distraction. So like I just said, when you're at work, you want to be able to give 100% of yourself to the patients, to what you're doing, to your profession, right? You want to be able to do that. If you cannot do that, the times you can't do that is because you're thinking of something else, because you're stressed out about your car issues, you're stressed out about your kid that failed a test, you're stressed out about your hubby, your work friends, the plans that you never get to do because you work every other weekend, right? So when you are distracted, it is hard to give 100% of yourself, and that is super important. Number 2, another reason why you should take a mental health day is that you neglect you time. Right? When you're a nurse, and I hear this all the time, my God, you only work 3 days a week. What are you talking about, you time? You got the whole week to do you time. But no, it's not like that. When you do work 3 days a week, and it is 36 hours and ends up being more like 42 hours if you stay late, leave early, all that good stuff. 40 hours is 36 hours. We all work the same amount of hours each week, right? You might do it throughout 4 days, 5 days. We do it in 3. So when we do go to work, the days we do go to work, it is entirely that work day. It's not, let's meet up for a bite after work. It's not, I'm going to go to the gym before. No, yes, you can't do those things if you wake up at 4 a.m. You can't do those things if you want to go out at 8:30, 9 p.m. and have a drink after a full 12-hour shift. Those are the choices you can make as a nurse. But understand, when you, as a non-nurse, tell a nurse you only work 3 days a week, those 3 days we do work, are entirely nursing. And then we have to do everything you get to do before and or after work on the days we have off, all right? And because we have those 3 days and we want to take care of everything else on our days off, we neglect our me time, you time. You neglect self-care time. Right? So take a mental day off and write it on the schedule and circle that day and say, I don't want stressors. I'm going to take this day for me, which leads directly into reason number 3. And the reason number 3 is appointments. And you say, Q, what do you mean by appointments? Are you telling me to go into work on my days that I have off, that I'm supposed to be taking a mental health day? No, we want to do exactly what we tell our patients to do. To set up a day to just have, I'm going to have this day off, I'm going to put in some earn time. Yes, it's nice to do that, but that day you might put in earn time for a wedding that you have to go to. You earn time for a birthday party, for an appointment for something else. You want to actually write down, set up an appointment with a therapist, set up an appointment to get a spa day, get your nails done, and write it on your schedule, because you do need that time. So you don't want to neglect your you time, but when you do have your days off, things pop up. People need rides. People want plans with you and they find out you're not at work. Say, no, I've already planned this day for me and me alone, so I'm going to do my thing to relieve the stress in the brains, right? And then last but not least, mental health just is one-to-one with physical health, right? And I love this quote that the World Health Organization states, there is no health without mental health, right? So we love, even in the healthcare field, being a nurse, 90% of the time we're talking, let's make sure that your blood pressure is right. Let's make sure that your sugars are right. Let's make sure that we fix the heart condition, your diabetes, your back pain, whatever. The physical is what we talk about 99% of the time. And of course, as if when we forget to mention it to our patients, the mental health, a portion of everything, we definitely forget to take care of our own mental health. And so once again, the 4 reasons you want to take a mental health day on is, number 1, if you don't, you're going to be distracted. You're going to not be able to give the patients 100% of yourself, right? You want to be able to be the best nurse when you are being a nurse. Number 2, if you don't take a mental health day, it's too easy for you to neglect you time. Number 3, you need to set up those appointments when you do have you time to make sure those days that you set up and those days that you take off, those mental health days you take off, you use them to take care of your mental health. And then last but not least, once you take care of your mental health, your physical health comes right with it, right? Good mental health means good physical health. And that's what we tell our patients, so we should do the same, right? Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate this. If you guys were informed or educated in any way, shape, or form by these stories, please hit that like button. If you liked my presentation of the news, I really suggest you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know every time Q the Nurse drops some hot, fresh press news. Thank you. Catch you next week. Deuces.